Hi, everyone, and welcome to ED Connections, where we are live and connected. I'm Ashley Pennington, and I am our Senior Regional Director of Clinical Partnerships. And joining me today is Kara Pate, Regional Director of Clinical Partnerships, and Breanna DeSandro, our primary therapist at the Toledo Center for Eating Disorders, part of our SELA Eating Disorder Network of Services. Our SELA Eating Disorder Network is comprised of SELA House, Magnolia Creek, and Toledo Center for Eating Disorders. We meet clients exactly where they are in their journey to recovery and provide the necessary therapeutic techniques to empower sustainable freedom. Our expert clinical teams help clients understand that recovery is possible by utilizing individualized treatment plans comprised of multidisciplinary evidence-based treatment modalities. Our goal is to make each client feel safe and comfortable in home-like settings designed to offer a clear step-down process, continually supporting our clients and their recovery journey. Again, it is my honor to introduce to you today Kara Pate, Regional Director of Clinical Partnerships, and Breanna DeSandro, our primary therapist at Toledo Center for Eating Disorders. Kara, walk us through our Toledo Center difference and talk to us a little bit about our guest today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ashley. Like Ashley said, I'm Kara Pate. I'm the Regional Director of Clinical Partnerships for the Toledo Center for Eating Disorders. Toledo Center is a residential program for adolescents and adults of all genders with a primary eating disorder diagnosis. We have a very comprehensive clinical team comprised of doctors, amazing therapists like Bree, dietitians, nurse practitioners, and a very robust support staff. We use evidence-based treatments, like Ashley mentioned earlier, to help our clients find lasting freedom. And today we have Bree with us. Bree, thank you so much for joining us. We're incredibly grateful to have you as part of the team at Toledo Center. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about who you are and some of the treatment modalities you've been providing down at our center for us. I understand you have a passion for treating those of the LGBTQ population. Can you tell me a little bit about your clinical approach in the treatment?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me part of this discussion today. So as a clinical therapist, I think it's really important to make sure that you are creating a safe and affirming space for individuals, even more so from the LGBT community, as a lot of individuals don't have that experience. And so that's what I like to do, is provide that space for them so that they can know they can be who they are without judgment. And part of that process is inquiring what pronouns they use, what sexual orientation they are, and sometimes throughout treatment that changes. So a lot of what I do is identity development. We do a lot of that with eating disorders in general, and identity outside of the eating disorder, but even more so with this population. They need to explore what their identity looks like. And my approach is to empower them and help them build on their strengths, what those strengths look like, rather than just focusing on what their weaknesses are and how we can build on those. And I'm all for advocating for their needs, but also helping them advocate for themselves. And that includes like maybe having family therapy sessions where families may not be as accepting. Maybe it's advocating for them, clinically, with treatment when it comes to insurance purposes. Maybe that includes making sure that people are not misgendering individuals. And also that depends on if they're out or not. But yeah, I'm big on identity development, exploring what their intersectionalities look like, because then also race and spirituality and many other components play a role in this too. So connecting them with the LGBTQA+ community is also important. to be able to have other people they can relate to, other people they can build on their supports with. And, you know, with the COVID situation right now, that's not as feasible. So I've been really encouraging them to reach out online communities rather than support groups that are in the community, because those aren't really happening as much. So yeah, I think creating a support system is pertinent to the recovery, as with anybody going through the recovery process. A lot of the times you'll see, though, with this community that they don't have the support as individuals who are identifying as heterosexual. You know, again, families, friends, even religious communities are not as accepting. And so if they do come out, or if they have come out, that can pose some, you know, barriers to having that support system. So I like to develop a support system while they're in here. I also think it's important to display LGBT affirming items. I have like a pair of earrings that I wear in support of that. We have a pride flag hanging up in our group room. One of the patients colored me, because at the time we didn't have a color printer, a gender unicorn worksheet that I have hanging up, and that's to help explore people where they are on the spectrum with their gender identity. We explore the coming out process, what that looks like, exploring, is it safe? Are there any barriers? As well as people who transition, maybe male to female, female to male, what that transition process looks like and consists of, socially, medically. And then also, I want to make sure that at the time of discharge, patients have a team that is affirming and supportive in their approach. I don't want to just send somebody out with just anybody that specializes in eating disorders. I want them to have that component where they are going to be accepted and maybe need to continue exploring their identity development. Also, we do a lot of research-based practices and differences with that. And I think that's about all I have for that answer.
That's a lot. I think you touched on so many really important aspects of the treatment at Toledo Center. What would you say are some potential barriers to treatment, and how can we as a program and maybe some outpatient clinicians who are watching this really work to meet the needs in this community?
Yeah, so there's a lot of barriers. A lot of people in this community are underrepresented. A lot of people may not have resources or funding. So I think that maybe potentially scholarships or some type of payment plan for people who may not be able to afford it for treatment. And also, I think maybe even insurance companies could, you know, we could provide education for them, because it's going to look different for somebody who is transgender when they're basing certain criteria off of what can get them, you know, services. So I think some education would be helpful in that arena. As providers, I think it's, you know, making sure that we are all communicating and we're all on the same page, and that, you know, we are providing that affirmative, all-inclusive treatment approach, so that others can feel welcome. And, you know, I can't imagine how scary of a process it must be to even come to treatment, and let alone be a minority amongst a lot of people. So I guess, yeah, the support is a big component in education too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like you already did a really good job touching on this, but do you feel like there's anything else that TSED does to maintain cultural competency and provide that safe environment? I mean, you already alluded to so many incredible things we do.
Yeah, so when somebody does come out, or they identify as a different gender, then our role is to advocate for them. And our team is pretty awesome when it comes to that, because like if somebody gets misgendered, like one is willing to speak up and, correct them in that. Very welcoming in the group setting. We lay a foundation that everyone here is here to recover, and we don't tolerate any type of bullying, any type of discrimination or oppressive actions, comments whatsoever. And we make sure that all of our treatment for our patients, clinician-wise, nursing, dietitians, the whole team, the RCs, everyone, just provides that individualized care, because everyone's different and not everybody's treatment's going to look the same. So to be able to provide that individualized care that may look different for somebody else,
Yeah, absolutely. I think you touched on one of my favorite aspects of Toledo Center is just the safety and the warmth that you feel when you walk on our campus, and just the inclusion and the genuine care that all of our treatment team possesses for our clients that walk in. You've been part of our team for a little while now, and what drew you to Toledo Center? What do you feel is the difference in the care that's provided?
Well, during my internship, I worked very closely with quite a few of my clients. Were trying to manage their eating disorder outside of going to treatment, and there were multiple times where I referred out to the Toledo Center, and I was actually on the website quite frequently, looking to see when they would have an opening. And I applied to a lot of different places and had a lot of different opportunities. But like you said, like when I walked in here, I was like, this is it. Like I had my interview. Like I felt like I was just hanging out with some people. Like it didn't feel judgy, and it was an experience I never had before. And I was like, this is like a team I want to work with. Like, I knew. So yeah, I really have an interest in helping people with this disorder. And so like even having a lot of experience during my internship as well with the LGBTQA community, I also found through a lot of research that is very prevalent in that community. And I was like, okay, well, I guess this is where God is leading me. So I'm going to go with it. So here I am.
And blessed are we that you are here. So I really appreciate your time today, Bree. I feel like I could talk to you for the rest of the morning, the afternoon, but I know you have clients to get to. So thank you again. And we'll turn it back over to you, Ashley.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Bree and Kara. It's so great to hear your passion, and I love your story and just that feeling that you got when you walked in through the front door, and just to know how comfortable Toledo Center is in such a safe environment as well. If you get that feeling, I can only imagine what our clients and families feel as well. So thank you so much, Kara and Bree, for bringing that Toledo Center difference to life. It's truly an amazing difference. So thank you. For more information about our SELA Eating Disorder Network, or if you or someone you know is suffering from an eating disorder, look no further. We are here and we are ready to help. You could visit our website at www.toledocenter.com, where you will also find information for our SELA Eating Disorder Network, including SELA House, Magnolia Creek, and Toledo Center for Eating Disorders. You can also call us anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, at One Call and Many Solutions at 765-641-0022. Feel free to follow us on social media, on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and LinkedIn at SELA House, Toledo Center, and Magnolia Creek. We invite you to join us next week, Wednesday, July 22nd at 12 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock Central on the Magnolia Creek Facebook page as we welcome Jessica Schaefer, family therapist. She walks us through our unique and collaborative approach to family therapy. You don't want to miss that. From Bree, Kara, and myself, thank you so much for joining us today. And we invite you to walk with us into freedom. Thank you so much. Bye.